And when you're dead, you're done. Let the good times roll. Oh, let the good times roll. We don't care if you're young or old. Get together, let the good times roll. Don't sit there mumbling, talking trash. If you wanna have a ball, you gotta spend some cash. Let the good times roll. Hey, let the good times roll. Well, we don't care if you're young or old. Get together, let the good times roll. Hey, go for the blues now.
Well, hello folks. Bit of a while since we've spoken, really. What have I been up to? Well, I think I left you in Florida, maybe? Chutney Stag Do in Miami. The less that's said about that, the better. So after that, I booted my way up the east coast of the States. I had to get to Washington DC in about a day and a half after leaving Miami for a quick meeting with Born Free. Unfortunately, it rained. It was torrential rain. The temperature really dropped. So we were supposed to do a bit of a photo shoot around the Capitol, but that didn't happen. It was a quick picture in the actual office, and that was it. So I never saw anything of DC. I had to get up to North State, New York that night, because the next morning Nikki, my missus, was flying into JFK, and it's more than my bollocks are worth to have missed her at the airport. So I booted my way all the way up to New York. The temperature dropped to below freezing. I was absolutely frozen by the time I arrived. I think I had mild hypothermia. My mate Blackhead was going to take me to the hospital, but anyway, I grew up here and we were okay. So I spent the week with Nikki, Chris and Jessie at Chris and Jessie's place, which was fantastic. Did a little bit of labouring there for them, digging up their garden, and we had a really, really nice time. Then Nikki got the train up to Boston and I rode, and Nikki and I spent the last 2 or 3 days up in Boston. And one thing I forgot, I can't believe I didn't pop it in there, was that I got some news for you. I'm engaged. Popped the question to Nikki in Central Park while we were in New York. Something I've been wanting to do since the first stage, since Africa really. I said to myself, if I make it through here, then I'll make an honest woman of her, if she'll have me. And it's taken me a bit of time to actually get around to doing it, but I popped the question and thankfully she said yes, so over the moon. I'm looking forward to getting home. I'm looking forward to the rest of the journey, but I'm looking forward to getting home and getting on with life now, and you know, that's the next adventure for me, or for us. So I left Nikki yesterday in Boston, and I've been making my way across the country again. I'm now in Indianapolis. This is the Motor Speedway, and from here I'm going to head to Chicago. I won't get to Chicago tonight. I'll get as far as I can, maybe ride another hour I think before the light's gone, and I've got about 10 days to get to the top of Alaska. So that's us really. You know, I've got to do about 500 miles a day. It's heavy going, it is hard going, I'll not lie, but you know, the adventure has to begin again, because I've had a bit of a holiday in the States, to be honest. So yeah, we're getting on with it now. Well, howdy doody folks, I'm in Canada finally. I hope you can hear, it's really windy. That was a hard slog, real hard slog. I left Nikki in Boston about 4 or 5 days ago now, and I was aiming to do, you know, 500 to 700 miles a day, get to Canada in about 3 days, and my plan was to get up to Fairbanks in Alaska by this weekend, so within the week, and then see if the access road was open, the Ice Road Truckers Road, see if that was open up to Deadhorse. It's taken me 5-6 days now just to get here into Canada. Horrendous weather front hit the Midwest. Real bad tornadoes down where John Wilkins is in Georgia, Alabama, North-South Dakota, Carolina, all those areas, Florida. They've been hit really hard. A lot of people have been killed. And I got the sort of tail end of that. I got the cold front right up the top. So it's been below zero at times. I've had snow, hail, the beginnings of a tornado which just managed to outrun. It was a bit hairy, and I've got to admit it's killed me. It's really crucified me. I'm getting old, I must be, because I used to be able to do that sort of mileage day in, day out, no problems. I think the trip is just catching up on me, to be honest. I've been feeling really bad recently. Just really lethargic. Just felt rotten, and I just think it's because I'm at the tail end of the trip. I've got to civilization again. I'm in somewhere that's fairly familiar to me, and I'm starting to relax, so everything's catching up. So I'm becoming a bit of an old man at the moment, or a bit of a moaning wee girl. I do apologise, but anyway, I'm in Canada now. This is Manitoba, it's sort of one of the middle states or regions. I'm just outside Winnipeg. I'm about 50 miles west of Winnipeg, and my aim today is to get to Saskatoon in Alberta, or maybe even Edmonton if I can get to Edmonton. It's about 800 miles, so I don't think I'll make it. Quite a late start today. My chain, I didn't realise quite how bad the chain was, but I went to tighten the chain today, and I've had to bring it almost to the very back now and swing on. It's about 3 notches from the back. I've never had a chain that far back. That's how far I had to go to get it to tighten up. So I don't think the chain's too long for this earth. But anyway, never mind. Yeah, I'm just going to plug on. My aim is to get as far west and north as I can by sort of the 4th, 5th of May. So in the next 4 or 5 days, I'll see how far I can go. But by that point, I will then have to turn around and start heading back east across Canada to Toronto, and then down to Niagara Falls, cross back into the States, and head back to JFK, where I'm going to drop the bike off with the James Cargo agents there, and they'll arrange for it to get shipped over to Ireland. So anyway, let's get back on the road.
As luck would have it, I met another British biker, a chap called Ed Gold, on the road just outside of Winnipeg. Ed was heading to Alaska as well, so we hit the road together, battling the elements. It got colder and colder. It hit minus 35 at some stages. It really was a brutal trek.
Over trees to try to find the way back home. Familiar signs, the rays of light, they disappeared one by one, and your fate's been sealed by the turning of the wheel and the setting of the evening sun. So you crawl on by the light of the moon, cross the reeds and over the hours, and you pray that you make it to the breaking of the day. You're trying to find a way back home, and you try. You're trying to find the short way home, over roots, bloody knees, and the bent over trees. You're trying to find the way back home.
Right folks, God, I'm not sure what day I'm on, about day 360 I think, something like that now, day 355. I am now in the north, well sort of northern British Columbia in Canada, just north of a town called Fort St. John. and I've been riding with Ed for the past couple of days. It has been bloody freezing, but it's just starting to warm up a smidgen now. By that I mean it's about 4 degrees, 5 degrees. Right folks, I want to introduce you to somebody. This is Ed Gold. We met just outside Winnipeg, and we've pretty much been riding together ever since. The last sort of 3 days we've been through some pretty horrendous weather, it's got to be said. Like it was about minus 35 with the wind chill at times. It's been bad, and poor old Ed here, you know, he's been sleeping rough like the proper action man he is, and he's met me, the big roughy tufty big woofter from Scotland, and it's been too cold for me. I've had enough of camping in the cold, so we've been in motels for the past few nights. But anyway, he's now going to be going back and roughing it all the way up to Alaska. But Ed,
thank you very much.
The stage is yours. What's your name? Where'd you come from?
Well, my name is Ed Gold, and I come from Britain, obviously, but from all over. Originally, I'm an Essex boy, born in London, lived up in North Wales. My travels took me to Patagonia to photograph a Welsh colony there for 2.5 years. And I
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Well, I went for a month, and it's the same old story. Met a girl and ended up staying a bit longer. But my travels took me to Wales, which is an Eskimo village, an Inuit village in Alaska, who I photographed in 2009. Went back last year, wanted to spend more time there, so I had to extend my US visa, which meant motorcycling from Anchorage in Alaska down to Ottawa in Canada to the US Embassy. I did that journey in 8 days last July.
And how far's that?
It's 4,000 miles, so it's 500 miles every day.
Right, so he went from Alaska to Ottawa, basically from the top of Canada, America, if you like, right up in the top, to Ottawa. And it was right near Toronto.
Well, it's near New York. It's Toronto.
Yeah. So it's more or less right near the border with the New York State. So opposite ends of the country, 4,000 odd miles, and he did it in 8 days. That's an average of about 500 miles a day. And believe you me, in this sort of terrain, in this weather especially, that is hard going.
It was. I was sleeping rough at the time. But I got a good newspaper story in Ottawa, which did the trick. I went to the US Embassy the next day after the paper story came out, and they all knew about me, knew what I was doing. So they gave me a 10-year US visa so I could return. But I met a local girl in Ottawa, ended up hanging out with her for 6 weeks, flew back rather than ride back to Anchorage, and then flew back to this Inuit village for another month. Got the material that I needed, and then I went back to Canada for the whole of this winter to live with her. The Canadian authorities said I had to leave Canada, so now I'm hightailing it out of Canada back to Alaska again.
There's a running theme of women in Ed's life at the moment. And you also went to Afghanistan, is that right?
Yes. I was at a point in my career where things weren't moving ahead as fast as I wanted them to, and I went down to see some of the big newspapers in London, and one of them recommended to me that I choose war, disaster or celebrity to try and get ahead, and I chose war. So I approached the parachute regiment, who were based in my hometown of Colchester in Essex, and they liked my idea to make a book of their work. So I went training with them for about a year, went out to Afghan and photographed in the war zone.
Was that 2-para, is that right?
2-para.
2-para, and when was that?
I was out in Afghan between January and February 2011.
Fantastic, and you're trying to get that book published just now?
Absolutely, I'd love to.
I've seen some of the pictures, and if you'll agree to it, I'll put a couple of pictures, a wee montage with this
Please
video.
Do.
So hopefully you're seeing a couple of these pictures just now. And if there's any publishers out there, obviously I'm looking for a book deal, but Ed here has done some absolutely incredible work out in Afghan with the paras. He's got a book out just now with the Welsh community down in Patagonia. Again, that's available. I'll put a link to that just now. So that's well worth having a look at. Well worth having a look at. The man's photography is absolutely stunning.
Thank you, Bruce.
You'll see a lot more about this man, especially once he's done his work with the Eskimos. But anyway, we're going to part company now, and we need to fire off. He's got a long way to go up into the cold up there. Ed, absolutely.
Bruce, you're a top man. Thank you so much, mate. Cheers.
Look after yourself.
You too. Thank you.
Right, well, we're going to part ways now, so I'll be back on my lonesome, and I'm now turning around and heading down towards Prince George, and then down towards Vancouver, where I'll hopefully meet Mosty.
Mother, why'd you have to go and pull at my golden wings? I'm gonna fly off this building all the same. You put me down in the darkest well, but still still bad water stings. I'm gonna fly off this building all the same. Mother, why'd you have to go and clip my golden wings? I'm gonna fly off this building all the same. You put me down in the darkest well, still bad water stings. I'm gonna fly off this building all the same. Mother, why'd you have to go and clip my dirty wings? I'm gonna fly off this building all the same. You put me down in the deepest well, there's still that water stings. I'm gonna fly off this building all the same. It took one chronicle on my grave as the judge comes down with the gavel. In the rain it looked like the blood on the ground. It shook the grass and the leaves and the gravel. And you're trying to find the short way home. Over roots, bloody knees, and the bent over trees. You're trying to find the way back home. You're trying to find the way back home. You die to find the short way home.
So after a quick stopover with Boston-Kirst in Vancouver, where there was some beer involved, I was back on the road, heading south, across the border, back into the USA, down to Seattle, and then east, for thousands of miles, heading back to New York.
Where you belong is not for me to say. 69 million gallons, girl, keeps the wheels turning night and day.
So behind me you can see Mount Rushmore. Just stopped in to see that. It's in South Dakota. I'm about a third of the way back across the States now. Not spoken to you in a while actually. I flew through Canada after saying goodbye to Ed Gold at the sort of halfway up BC. I turned off and headed south, right down through BC. It's absolutely stunning. I mean, that's what I thought Canada would look like, not Manitoba, Saskatchewan and Alberta in the middle. That was nothing like I thought Canada would be, to be honest, and it was cold. But BC, beautiful, very much like Norway, like the west of Scotland and northwest of Scotland and places, beautiful. But anyway, I fired through there. The Sea to Sky Highway is absolutely, I mean, that is epic. That is an incredible road, definitely one to put on your bucket list. Fired down to Vancouver and I met up with Boasty and Kay, who emigrated a month before I left the UK, so they've been over here, sheesh, year and a half now, almost 2 years. So I spent the night with them in Vancouver, and then I headed south, and it's been a bit of a battle really. The last 3 days I've just been tearing my way across the States. So I've got about another 3 days to go, and then we should get to Blackhead and Jesse's again in New York, and then I'll drop the bike off. So it's all going well.
It might have been bits and pieces, but I gave you the best of me. I hope that it helps to change your mind when you needed to feel free. Oh no, I ride alone, free. Oh no, I ride alone.
Well folks, that's me in Buffalo at Niagara Falls. It's been a long haul from Vancouver, I've got to say. Wow, it's only been 4 days. That's about 2,500 miles.
Yeah, hard slog. It's just all interstate the whole way. I-90 runs basically east to west right across the whole of the States. Mind-numbingly boring apart from a couple of stretches in Montana, which were pretty cool actually. Nice winding interstate all the way up through the mountains. So that was a lot of fun, but the rest of it painful. The tyres are nearly shot. I thought they were done last night. I thought they were down to the canvas, as I could see in the sort of moonlight. I did a 14-hour ride yesterday, 700 odd miles. Didn't arrive in Buffalo till gone 11, but in the dark when I was filling up the fuel I thought I'd gone down to the canvas because I could see white, and I've had that before, but this time it was paint, so I was alright. This morning it washed off and I've still got enough rubber to get me to New York at least, so the new tyres will wait till I get to Dublin. Now I'm just hightailing it to New York. I'll put the bike to the shipping agents with James Cargo. And then I'm going to spend a week or so back with Chris and Jesse in Spakwa, and then I will head across to Dublin. It's been awesome.
Don't you know that these are the good times? Life can be so short, but it's easy to forget sometimes. Read between the lines to find what to believe. White is black and black is white. It's all the same to me. Oh no, oh no, I'm not alone. Me. Oh no, 'cause I'm not alone.
So we're here. I finally got to New York. This is the end X now really for the main section of the trip. Off to Dublin next. So that over there is Manhattan. In my mind's eye I had a view of a nice picture of the bike, Manhattan skyline in the background. Beautiful, what a nice way to finish the trip. As it goes, I've been up and down the Jersey shoreline. I can't find anywhere where I can get the bike with a good backdrop of the skyline. Everywhere's blocked off by security and all sorts. Obama's visiting today as well, which hasn't helped matters. The city's on lockdown. But yeah, through the mist you can just about see Manhattan. So I love this town. I absolutely love Manhattan, New York. Great city, great place, great people. Massive thank you to my mate Chris and Jesse who've put me up once again. Thank you so much guys. It's always a pleasure to come over and see you, and I hope it's not been too much of a burden. Chris is half killing me with booze every night and I'm loving it, to be perfectly honest with you. The States, Canada, everything I thought it would be. I've absolutely loved my time here in the States and in Canada. It's awesome. Just a couple of awesome countries. Wow. Top of the pick of the crop for me, Texas. Absolutely love Texas. I love the south actually. I love the deep south of the States. I must be a redneck at heart, but I love the attitude of the people. You know, they're really friendly. Granted, you know, there's a couple of people maybe a little bit narrow-minded to a few things, but you get that everywhere. But I just love the old-fashioned decency of the people, the manners, the politeness. It's great. I love that. Like small town Scotland, parts of England, like we've still got in places in the UK. And I love that over here. Plus you get the weather. If you go up into the Blue Mountains, I think it's the Smoky Mountains, can't remember what they're called, where Deal's Gap, Dragon's Tail, places like that are, Tennessee, North Carolina, all around there. The roads up in the mountains, absolutely superb. On a par with the best roads in the world, the likes of northern Spain, southeast France, Black Forest in Germany, absolutely incredible. British Columbia in Canada, incredible. If you're going to go to one place in Canada, I would say British Columbia. I wish I'd got to Alaska, I wish I'd got to Yukon, but it just wasn't to be. I can't complain, because by God I've had a hell of a trip. This trip for me has been massive dose of therapy, to be honest with you. I'm going to get all tree hugger and lentil sucking like with you, but it's been good for the mind, this trip. You know, for me, for a long time, I've kind of felt quite lost, really. Not sure what I wanted out of life, not sure who I was anymore, you know. But coming away on this trip, you've got nothing but time to think, and I've kind of found out again who I was and who I want to be, and hopefully I'm back at that now. I was quite a bitter and twisted and sceptical person before I left. Through, no fault of anybody's, it's just life, isn't it? You deal with what gets thrown your way. But I think I've reappraised what I want out of life, definitely, and I'm looking forward to the next stage. For me, family, and with family I mean good close friends. Your friends and your family. There's nothing more to life for me really now, to be honest with you. That's what you've got at the end of the day. You can have all the money in the world, but as long as you've got good family, good friends with you, and you make the time for those people, and let each other know what they all mean to you. And that's something I intend to do when I get back. I've got a lot of lost time to make up for, and I'm looking forward to it. I also hope that this trip has shown my son Ellis, maybe with determination, hard work and effort, anything's possible in life. I can't fault my son. Ellis is fantastic. I've felt pretty guilty about not being a big part of his life like I always imagined I would be to my son. I've not been there for him since he was about 1 really. Him and his mum and I split up, and I felt real guilty about sort of almost denying him what I remember as a normal life. He's not done bad though. His stepdad John and his mum Lorna, fantastic people, and he's never gone without. And I hope Ellis is watching this, and son, I hope you can see that, put the graft in and the grit, stick at something, and if it's what you really want, anything's possible, pal, anything. And you do me proud every single day, son. Lastly, to my Nicky, baby, you've been awesome, absolutely awesome. I cannot thank you for all the support you've given me. I can't think of anybody else in the world that would have put up with what you've put up with over the last 4 years now, and you made me the happiest man in the world by agreeing to be my wife, and I'm really looking forward to the start of our life together. I really am. So everybody, next stage is home, and I can't wait. This has been awesome. Thank you to everyone for all your support, but we've done it.
Oh, you see it.
Well, the whole room shakes when the train rolls by. I lie awake and wonder sometimes where they're going. I wanna be going somewhere, 'cause it cuts me up to think I'm way off track. And every time I move, something holds me back. But I know now there's nothing keeping me. I'm gonna leave this town tomorrow, pack my bags and disappear, go to some place where no one knows me. Don't care where, just anywhere but here. I'm tired of waiting as a state of mind. Can't escape from the feeling I got something to find, but I still know just what I'm looking for. 'Cause it's a funny old thing being bound like a book, but the truth can be found in the last place you look. So I'm hoping peace will be coming my way.